on, writers, and welcome first-time viewers to the Books by ADRIAN author platform and my off-season show, Chronicle, the show on this channel that focuses on my author career, my process as a writer, and my work in progress, Mythic, Shadow of the Spark. For our first episode back, it'll be a short one. In an effort to make the transition from Livestream Sunday to this a little easier, we'll be looking at what I've been reading lately. For our first episode back, we're going to be, in an effort to make the transition a little easier from Livestream Sunday to this, we'll be looking at what I've been reading lately. So I'm coming at you with an arc review of KENT SHAWN's latest installment in the MILLENIUM Tower series, Forbidden. If this is your first time with us, or if you come often but haven't taken that big step yet, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I post a video or go live with a stream. Taking these actions help the channel to reach more people and to grow its audience. For those of you who are used to seeing Livestream Sunday in this spot, it is currently on hiatus between seasons while I plan season 4, but rest assured it will return in about 8 weeks. Keep coming back to this spot, however, or to my Instagram to stay notified of the goings on of my channel. And sign up for my author newsletter to become part of the community that we're building and be notified of contests, giveaways, and other surprises along the way. We also have a Facebook group if you're interested, the website, of course, where you can find that newsletter, the podcast, and much, much more. Links can be found in the downstairs section. KENT SHAWN was kind enough to send me an art copy of his new novel, Forbidden, and I couldn't have been more excited to read something new from KENT SHAWN. His short story collection, Evil Grows in the Dark, was such a thrill to read that I'd been waiting for more from him. Unfortunately, when he released Blind Spot, the first novel in the MILLENIUM Tower series, I was heavy in the throes of finishing my first draft, so it's been on my to-be-read pile for some time now. So yes, this is actually a review of a sequel, and I read it having not read the first book in the series, or the prequel for that matter. At first I was worried about doing this, but on the other hand, it would be a unique reader perspective that one typically wouldn't get from reviews. And we all know that there are folks out there who pick up sequels, whether intentionally or by accident, without having read the first in the series. How many people intentionally or otherwise picked up Silence of the Lambs without having read Red Dragon? I'd bet a lot. So why not? I dove in, and I didn't look back. Forbidden. Harriet Hardy is one of the Father's champions in a war between good and evil. Angels, demons, and the occult are all power players in this world, and the MILLENIUM Tower looms over everything like the boss fight in a Zelda game. Harriet Hardy has 24 hours to win this battle or risk losing the war against the darkness. I'm not going to bury the lead here. I really like this book. I recommend it very highly. I do recommend always starting any series at the beginning, but if you do happen to pick up this particular sequel without having read the first, you'd be okay. I was never lost. I was never confused. The characters are well-rounded and well-formed, well-defined. The dialogue is sharp and quick and witty. The thrills are big. The twists are awesome. There's a lot going on in this book. Having not read Blind Spot, I expected to be more confused. I expected to be more lost and looking for explanations to things that I probably should have already known. But the truth is, anytime something relevant came up that had to do with the previous book, it was very well explained or subtly enough explained that you could piece it all together. For example, the lead character in the first book, Blind Spot, is not Harriet Hardy like she is in this second book. The character that would turn out to be her mentor was the main character in that first book. And so they make references to him and what happened to him. And through those, I feel like I know everything that I needed to know about their relationship and what came before Forbidden for Harriet Hardy. And I was off and running. I mean, from the second that I read the prologue, I knew that I was into some big thrills, some very, very fun dialogue, especially in that prologue. Some of the best dialogue that I've read from KENT SHAWN yet is in that prologue. And And it's also very surprising because while this book has a lot to do with angels and demons, and it's mostly based in Christian mythology and the Christian religion, I find it very surprising how accessible it is. I myself grew up in a very Christian home, so I had the background, in that. But I could tell it really wasn't necessary. The characters, whether you have heard of them or not, are, as I said before, very well defined. So if you are listening to the angel Michael speak, even if you don't know that the angel Michael is significant based on your own knowledge, you'll figure it out based on the dialogue and everything going on in the scenes. So I would say don't be afraid. Dive into this book. Of course, if you can, please read Blind Spot first. I highly recommend that you do so. But again, if you happen to somehow, for some reason, skip that first book, I think you're going to be okay diving into the second one. And it's only going to make you want to go back and read those first ones even more. So I know that it did that for me. As soon as I'm done with this review, I have a couple other books that I have to read. In one case, some sample chapters from some other author tubers, and some of which will be on my own in the near future. And so I need to cover those. But once I'm done with those, I'm diving right back into the Millennium Tower series, starting with the prequel and then going straight into Blind Spot. It's good quality all around, man. The dialogue is sharp, the prose is cool, the ambiance is just thick with so much rich feeling. I really love that Mr. Shawn does not get bogged down too hard into character physical descriptions. He kind of allows your imagination to run with just one or two small points about each character, and he leaves the rest up to you. And I really, really respect that as an author myself. I very much appreciate when the author does not necessarily dumb things down for the readers, or in other words, do the work for the readers. Half of the fun of reading a good book is imagining everything in your head. Ultimately, I'm going to keep this review short and sweet, as well as this episode for the most part. I am honestly just so very happy that KENT SHAWN is releasing his new book. It's coming out later this week, so make sure that you pick that up. If you do pick it up, make sure that you write a very, very positive review, as he well deserves. I intend to do so myself. All of the information for KENT SHAWN and where to buy his books is found in the downstairs of this video. And if you have any questions about it, please reach out to myself or to him. But as far as ratings go, this is really getting a 5 out of 5 for me. Great stuff all around. And I also want to throw in there that the chapters are actually very, very quick, very short. When you first look at the table of contents, you're like, whoa, that's a lot of chapters. But honestly, each one of his chapters are probably about as long as a scene in one of my chapters. So it makes for very quick, brisk readings. If you just want to sit down for a chapter or two, you don't have a lot of time, that's cool. You can probably get through 5 chapters with the amount of time that you think that you have, because they are very, very quick, clean, zero fat on these chapters, really, and always a thrill. Every chapter was a page turner. So pick it up and start turning those pages. Thank you so much for being here for the first episode back of Chronicles. This is, as I said before, a short one. The future episodes of Chronicles should be a little longer than this. Next week, we should be doing one of the very many AuthorTube tags that are available on the internet these days. And the following week, we should be doing an entire episode all about rebranding and how Books by Adrian went from what it was to what it is now. Once again, if you have not done so already, like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you always know what's going on before anybody else. Feel free to send me an email at booksbyadrian@gmail.com if you would like an email read on the podcast, if you have questions for myself or any of the guests that I have had on any of my shows. If you would like to be a guest on one of my shows, there is an application form for anyone interested in doing so. The link is in the downstairs. Be sure to fill it out, and I will get back to you with some scheduling follow-up emails. Come back this Thursday for a brand new episode of the Books by Adrian podcast, and I will see you guys here again next Sunday for another episode of Chronicles. Right on, writers. We're out.